Hi there. In this quick video we'll be taking a look at a 2.5-inch external hard drive case. Obviously you can also put an SSD in it or a mechanical hard drive. This thing swears it's USB 3.0. I'm going to be putting in it a 1 terabyte mechanical hard drive, so we will not be reaching any of those speeds, but hopefully at least we can reach a hard drive's maximum speed, which should be about 90-100 megs per second or something like that. It's as no name as it gets. Same thing on all sides. I have no clue what I got. Hopefully not the black one, but probably it is the black one. I would want probably to buy another one and have two different colors, because I have another 500 gig drive from a laptop that I'm going to be using just for random stuff when working on computers, obviously just for temporary backup. So driverless, except of Windows 98. Still talking about 98, although there are in some companies machines running on even Windows 95. So yeah, human nature, design, easy installation. What? Anyway, super slim and easy portability. Super speed. Wow. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. Up to 1 terabyte or more. I think up to and more cannot be one after the other, because it doesn't make sense. Windows system, Mac OS and Linux basically works on anything, and guess where it's made, obviously. Anyway, yeah, black one, because why wouldn't it be black? Doesn't really matter. I hope it just works, and that should be enough. It's I'm having in my hand now a feather, basically. It weighs absolutely nothing. Cable itself looks like the standard old style USB 3 cable, not Type-C, don't dream. It's the micro USB plus a few more pins to support higher speeds. But there's a big chance it will also run on a single standard micro USB at USB 2 speeds. And again, I don't think my drive can do more than that, so even another simpler and thinner cable will work. Power, obviously, it's getting it through this thing, all of it. Laptop drives don't require much power. Yeah, it's simple. Let's see. Does it have an easy open system in here? There are no instructions whatsoever, so your guess is as good as mine. Yeah, it seems to have something. So we start here. These pins act as clips. Don't drop it. If you drop it with a drive in it, you're going to be in a world of pain. And Jesus, what the how is this staying in here? It was just put after some plastics in there. So we do have a chip. The PCB itself, the chip looks soldered, not bad, not great either, but yeah, half decent. What can I say? Half decent, yeah. Okay, I guess it's going to be working most likely. So let's throw a drive in here, and if it's wiggling around, yeah, I'll be hitting some double-sided tape or some other type of foam in there to keep everything in place. This is the drive, pulled from a laptop that got upgraded to SSD. What was the orientation of this thing, so I know how to put my drive in there? Okay, so this is the orientation, I think. Isn't this? No, this is not the orientation. Okay, this should be the orientation. Yeah, now it's fitting. Look at those crazy stiff things that will break the second you look bad at them. There's a bit of how you're doing in here. Doesn't really matter. Let's plug the drive. Or maybe we should go another route and actually lift that thing a tiny bit to allow the drive to plug into it more horizontally. Okay, the drive is staying quite nicely in here. I don't dare to wiggle it too much, but it fits well, so that's okay. This is, I think, the thickest that it can actually support. I hope it supports it. We'll find in a moment when I try to close it, because this is the max thickness, as far as I know, of a laptop drive, this one. You know what? I was joking a lot about it, but it actually closes nicely. Now when the drive is in it and it's actually pushing on the sides, so the clips are perfectly locked in there, and I don't... what? Did I do something wrong in here? Here it doesn't seem to be quite closed. Opened it back up. Without a drive it's closing perfectly, and you can see here thickness difference between these two drives. So yeah, this one is the highest thickness that it can actually take. I could try to remove the sticker, although this embossing is actually at the same level as the sticker, so I'm winning basically nothing. Yeah, no point in removing the sticker, but neither can I do anything for this to stay a bit nicer closed. Is it anything that I could actually do? Hehe. Mama didn't raise no fool. Let me show you. With my incredible problem solving skills, I was able to find that something was pushing on this, and it was not the thickness of the drive itself, but something else. This thingy was too crammed in here, and I realized this rib right there. Camera, please focus on the ribs, maybe on this one. No, doesn't want to focus. I don't even know how to make it focus on those. Maybe by giving a bit more light. That rib right there, plus another one on the other side. The PCB was pushing on them, so what I needed to do, let's get the drive out of here. Just cut the lower part of them where the PCB is actually touching them. So now the PCB has a bit more clearance and a bit more room to go deeper in there, closer to the edge itself. Now the drive has more room in here for this side to be able to go right around its corners, and it seems that, oh sorry, this side to go around its corners, and it seems that at this point in time everybody is happy and we don't have an issue anymore. Voila. Great. Let's connect this guy and test it. Obviously, connect the drive, rotate the USB a few times because you never get it right the first time, and connect it somewhere to, on this particular computer, a USB 2 port. Voila, I present you USB 2 speeds. And it also shows smart data, so it has pass-through for everything. And we also have an extremely hard to see activity LED that actually blinks when doing something. Let's give it some work to do. So yeah, stop. And it's a fingerprint magnet, but at this price point, who cares? If I could actually get one of the other 10 colors. And a while later, look what the cat dragged in. On Temu.com I found these thingies and I thought they are exactly the same thing. I was so wrong. So this is quite crap quality from the start, but usable. Well, this, at least the plastic part, is even worse. Just look at the spacers. Only 4 of them on this whole side. This one, many more. The plastic all around it. This one is half decent at the edge. This one much more rounded. It's just similar but worse. So yeah, if we look at these things, this has a nice edge. This barely has an edge in here, like the mold itself was damaged and repaired, and yikes. The corners of it are not, I think one of them was quite bad. This one right here, much worse. This isn't perfect either, but this is much worse. Yikes. So yeah. And if we look at the PCBs, this is the PCB from the original black one, this is from the new ones. More or less, if you check all the components, they are kind of there on different sides. This one on one side doesn't have anything, they squeezed everything on this one. It's easier to manufacture this way. I will obviously test the speed, not on the same drive. I'm not going to move this to the other ones because yikes, but I'm probably it will be just fine. It's not such a high speed. Then let's take a look at the cables. Yikes. This one was quite decent. This one, the wires seem quite thin in there. This one seems much sturdier and better built. So yeah, it is USB type 3. It has deep in there everything that it needs to have, but type 3, Jesus, USB 3.0 type A. Anyway, but yeah, and of course speed will be tested with its own cable, not with the good one from the black unit. So let's put everything back together and squeeze 2 hard drives in these things. As for the writing, it's actually better on the red unit as opposed to the black one, where it looks like laser etched in here. This is paint, which will eventually wear off, and I obviously bought a blue one also. So I'm going to throw in hard drives in these things, use them as much as possible when repairing computers and whatnot, to transfer from one to the others, when they fail, but yeah, I hope they at least work initially, and ask me in the comments if they still work over time. It's that simple. Now let me throw everything in and do some speed tests. And it was so tricky to get this in. So you don't push it all the way into the hard drive, because then it stays on top of those red fins right there. So now let's throw this, which will be staying directly in the middle of the drive, pushing on it, although I think it is sturdy enough to not be deformed in any way. I will see. If I feel that it's pushing too much on it, I will cut it and move it more towards the edges. But probably it's enough. So yeah, and this is the thin type of drive, so it needs this. The thick one, as you could see in the black one, nope. No spacer whatsoever required there. So yeah, it does close quite well, and I don't think it pushes too much on it. So yeah, it's okay-ish. This is really tight. Anyway, let's do the same with the blue one, and then put also the black one together. So let's remember, this is what the black one identifies as, and let's see the other ones. And this is how red and blue identify themselves as. tested the black one again just to have as little variation as possible. I'm going to use the same computer, same port without rebooting, but obviously the drives inside are also different, but I don't expect to see a huge difference. So let's test. Much lower speeds. This is a bit high because the drive inside this is an HHD or some HHSD. Weird name, I will write it on screen, because it does have a bit of SSD on it just for caching. Okay, tested also the red unit. It has a normal hard drive inside of it, and it seems the speed is quite decent. So they look really bad, but electronically they seem to be okay. So probably on the other one it was just the drive itself being an SSHD. Maybe it behaves differently in such tests. I have no clue. Tested again the SSHD and much better speeds because I tested it with a different USB cable from the from the red unit. So I'm going to retest with the original cable and see if it's defective or it just didn't make a contact. Did another test with the cable that initially gave a bad result, and it seems it was just not making a good contact. That value is because this is an SSHD again, and it managed to somehow cache a little bit of that info in the SSD part anyway. So the cables are not actually 100% bad, they just have crap connectors on them, so yeah. So at the end of the day, the two colored ones are just cheaper, crappier versions of the black one, but they do seem to work just fine, so yeah, you decide for yourself. And that's about it for this video. Hope it helps you, in which case please give it a like, check out my other videos, and as always, see you in the next one. Bye.